A very good morning, class. Sixth, today we'll be dealing with digestive system part 2. That is the continuation of the previous video that I have uploaded till the working of mouth. Okay, now alimentary canal also has various components in it that we'll take it one by one today. Okay, the content that you have to cover today is your tongue. Then comes your pharynx, oesophagus, also known as gullet, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, anus, liver, and pancreas. Okay. Now, in my previous video, I have already told you about the structure of teeth, types of teeth, then what is their functions, each of their functions I have told you. Now we'll talk about tongue. Okay. Now, what is the function of teeth from previous video? It is to chew the food, to mix the content, or to break the complex food into simpler particles so that it can be easily taken up into the mouth. Correct? Now, today we'll start the video with tongue. Now, what actually is tongue? It is a thick muscular organ. You know it very well. You can see it in the mirror that your tongue is completely muscular. You can roll it, you can twist it, you can turn it. Why? Because it has muscles. Okay. Now where it is present? It is present in the mouth cavity. Clear? Now you must have often seen that it is very slippery in nature, very moist in nature. So the reason behind this is that it is covered with mucous membrane. Mucous membrane, that's why it is slippery. And it contains taste buds. Okay. Now you can see there are various taste buds: bitter, sweet, salty, sour. With the help of these taste buds only, you are able to taste the food. You know the taste of that food. Then it helps, another function is that it helps in moving the food into the mouth. You must have seen if something is stuck up in your teeth, with the help of your tongue only, you take out those things and you assemble them and you put it inside your mouth. You swallow it, right? So this is the function of your tongue. Now, in continuation with the tongue, you have pharynx. Okay. Pharynx is what? It is a pathway. Okay. It is a common passage, as you can see in the figure. It is a common passage for, you can see, from nasal cavity and oral cavity, both are emerging and meeting at a common passage. So this is a common passage known as pharynx. Okay. Now, common passage for nose and mouth. So it carries both your air as well as food into it. What is the size of this pharynx passageway? It is 13 centimeter long. Commonly you can find it as throat. Okay. And it acts as a passageway for food and air both. Clear? Now it is again classified into three parts, that is upper, middle and lower layer. Okay. From where both air and food passes. You can see nasopharynx, oropharynx and hypopharynx. The names are not in your syllabus, but I have told you that these are classified into three parts. Okay, upper, middle and lower. Then, after your pharynx, there comes oesophagus. O is silent, so we can call it as esophagus also. Esophagus, also known as gullet. Can you see in the slide the greenish portion? This is nothing but your esophagus. It is also known as food pipe. Now from the word itself you can make out that food pipe. So what will be transferred? Food will be transferred. Okay. Now it's what you can say, its measurement is 25 centimeter long. Okay. Function. What is its function? You know very well. Now since food is passing, so it secretes mucus. Why? To make the food lubricant, so that it may easily pass. right? Sometimes when you eat a lot of dry things, what happens? You start coughing. Why? Because lubricancy is less, and there is a danger that in your pharynx region you have both wind and food pipe. So it is often told that when you eat, you should not speak. Why? Because there is a flap between food pipe and wind pipe. Okay, as you eat, the flap opens and the food goes into the food pipe, that is esophagus. And as you talk and you breathe in every time you talk, what happens here? Another windpipe opens. Okay, flap opens and wind goes in windpipe. So sometimes what happens? Automatically, if you talk while eating, the food goes into the windpipe, and as a result, you start coughing so that the food that has gone into the windpipe comes out. Okay. Now, this esophagus moves the food from the throat to the stomach using a muscle movement. Okay. Now, this muscle movement is known as peristalsis. Okay. What it is known as? Peristalsis. Now, the question comes, what is peristalsis, right? So you can see you must have seen in the previous slide that I have told you the green region is your esophagus region. Okay. Now this is a more clarified view. Now you can see this esophagus shows a contraction of muscles. Okay, this is known as peristalsis. Now what happens? There are series of involuntary waves like muscle contraction that helps the food to move along the digestive tract. You must have seen when we say na kuch atak raha hai gale mein. So this is what you try to swallow, the bolus of food, right? The mass of food you try to swallow. So this is known as your peristalsis. Now after peristalsis, there comes your stomach. So peristalsis, I think, is clear to you all. The question is, after your esophagus is your stomach region. Can you see in the figure that is given in the slide? You can see at the top there is esophagus. From esophagus, your stomach starts. Okay. Now, can you see the shape of the stomach? It is J-shaped, right? So, what is your stomach? It is J-shaped muscular bag. Okay. That is situated on the left side of your abdomen. Okay. Now, what is its function? It churns the food and it mixes it with digestive juices. Now in the further videos, we'll talk about which type of digestive juices. It mixes them. It mixes the bolus, the food that you eat, with the digestive juices, and its function is to pass it to the small intestine. Okay. The upper end end of the stomach opens with the esophagus, and the lower end ends up in the small intestine. Okay. Now, we'll talk about what is small intestine. Now, small intestine is what? It is a continuation of stomach. You can see in the figure again, from esophagus to stomach, stomach to small intestine. Now, this small intestine is long coiled and it is folded in the abdomen. Okay. Now, the small intestine is divided into three parts. Okay. Duodenum, jejunum and ileum. Okay. Now, in different parts, duodenum is the anterior part, jejunum lies in the middle region, and ileum is the posterior part that is present downwards. Okay. Now, the inner walls of small intestine contains billions of finger-like projections known as villi. Okay. They are finger-like projections that are present in your small intestine that makes it contract and occupy large surface area. Okay. Now, what is villi? Villi is a tiny finger-like projections that originate from the walls of the small intestine. They increase the surface area for absorption of digested food. Okay. It helps to absorb the nutrients from the digested food. Clear? Now from small intestine, the food goes, the digested products, now it leads to large intestine. Okay, the word large itself means that it has large diameter, wider diameter, but they are shorter in length. Okay, now large intestine is divided into three parts: cecum, colon, and rectum. Okay, cecum, colon, and rectum. Okay, now these are the three parts of your large intestine. Okay, where rectum is the short tube that opens outside the anus, from where you excrete out the waste product. So this is about your large intestine. There comes your, after this we'll talk about what is the function of digestive system. It helps in moistening the ingested food. Okay, then we'll talk about very important feature, that is liver. Now for liver, I'll tell you, it is the largest gland in our body. Okay, now it is located in the upper right side of the abdominal cavity. Now what is the function of this liver? It secretes bile. Now what is bile? It is a yellowish greenish fluid that helps to break the large globules, large balls, you can say globules of fat into smaller droplets. It splits a large global mass into smaller particles. Okay, it also helps in regulating your blood sugar level, and it helps to transport the carbohydrate to your body. Clear? Function of liver: it breaks the it contains bile that breaks the globule fat into smaller pieces. It regulates the blood sugar level, and it also helps in transporting the carbohydrate. Then last in this video we'll talk about pancreas. What is pancreas? It is associated with small intestine. Okay, it contains pancreatic juice. Can you see the small intestine? Why? Because we have talked about duodenum. Duodenum is in small intestine, right? So it is associated with small intestine. It contains pancreatic juices. We'll talk about in the further video. Okay, that helps in digestion. And this pancreatic juices contains many enzymes such as amylase, trypsin, lipase. We'll talk it in the further video, what all these enzymes are, what all they function, and so on. Okay, so this is all your parts of the digestive system. Okay, now in the next video we'll be taking one by one the process of digestion. How does digestion takes place at each place? Okay, I hope this video is crystal clear to you. We'll talk about the process of digestion in the next video. Till then, thank you. God bless you.